Hello everyone, Zach Nighthawk flying in your space once again with another episode of Star Fox Adventures. In the last episode, we got the second spellstone from Cloudrunner Fortress, and now we have just arrived at the Ocean Force Point Temple where the spellstone must be returned. A little trivia about the Ocean Force Point Temple. As you can see, it is surrounded by sand, or that's how oceans are normally set up, with their coasts made up of sand. But the reason I say that is not just to be remedial. It's because this place, the Ocean Force Point Temple in the original Dinosaur planet, was supposed to be called the Desert Force Point Temple. Whereas on the inside of this, it may look like, you know, Atlantis. But on the inside of the Desert Force Point Temple in Dinosaur Planet, it would have instead looked like, you know, delving into a pyramid in ancient Egypt. Uh-oh. Shielded Shark Claw. Uh-oh. Thank you. Nope. No thank you. Freeze it. Ah! Wow, I can't believe I was able to freeze him as soon as that pause ended. Temporary stoppage. Just collect some money, then open the door with the spellstone. I like how that music goes. Like, it just feels appropriately different and sublime as opposed to the dramatic music of using a spellstone on a seal in the volcano. And the music for this place is also very fitting. Definitely feels like you're delving into the depths of an ocean. Or swimming around a coral reef, for that matter. Either way, it's very fitting. Sorry, Tricky, I don't want you to make you think I'm a traitor by putting on this shark claw. Oh, come on! Guess the QA tester didn't check that out beforehand, didn't they? Oh, God. Anyway. Now what I want to do... Well, here's what happens if you step on these right away. You'll get shocked, lose 1/4 of a health icon, and you cannot cross until those electrified panels are, well, disabled. And the way you do that, see this wall up here? Yes, Tricky, I'm looking at it. What we're gonna do is step on this panel, and it will show us a path across the correct panels to step on, so we can get to the other side, where those shark claw are. And it's good to repeat the numbers in your head, left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like it's 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3. 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3. 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3. And now you're on the other side without getting shocked. Now we gotta take on the offensive-minded shark claw, these big brutes that can take away a health icon just by hitting you once. So, taking the short way around, and yes, Tricky, that is very cool. Well, what I want to do is I want to go up on this platform here. However, the current will not allow me to do so. So, actually, before that, I just want to go over here. I thought I could leap over that. Come on, game. Like in the volcano, there is a place you cannot visit on your first visit, or whatever. In the Volcano Force Point Temple, you would have needed a moonstone to get to the other side, to that alcove, to the left of the entrance. Here, you're gonna need a staff upgrade. In this case, a portal device, the portal device upgrade in order to get there. We do not have that yet, and we cannot come back here until we get the second spellstone. Just telling you, we are not getting, and yes, if I haven't made it already clear, we're not getting the portal device upgrade in the Ocean Force Point Temple. So, that being said, I think the water currents want us to go here. Uh-oh. Want to avoid these guys. Uh-oh. Ooh, nice cut through here. Okay, so these platforms are very slippery, or, well, same physics as you would if you're going across ice. There are switches on at each end of these paths. What do they do? Well, they activate certain things in the other room that we need to get to that platform I was trying to get to, but the current wouldn't let me. So, take the easiest one first, turn on this switch, and it turns on the orb. Next, I'm gonna go to the next easiest one, which is right across, directly, and nice diagonal one here. Oop. There we go. That's better. Collect these fuel cells while we're at it. Always good to have more. Oop. Come on, Fox. So that activates the current, I think. And now, I'm trying to jump to the other side. Come on, game. Hey, I know, bad guy. Oh, dude. Well, at least you can hang on and get back. With more ice-like mechanics, it's not as forgiving. I can get those later, but I'm a little busy trying to get to the switch up there. Right. Oop. Climb up. Oop. Oh, yikes. Now, turn on this switch. And that, actually that turns the current. I guess it's both currents, I guess, but I don't know. Just collect these staff energy gems before I go further. Now what is there, by the way? What is on that platform that we're trying to get to? Well, if I climb up this wall here, it'll take us to a warp pad. Sorry, my voice cracked there. Well, actually, you know what? I think it activates the flames that you need to shoot. Because, or shoot your fire blaster to that orb, because you cannot use the warp pad yet. But if we shoot that green orb through a green flame, uh-oh, sharp claw back, then that activates the warp pad. Guess tricky, I know. Food. And another trivia about the Desert Force Point Temple is there would not have been a warp pad. Instead, it would have been an elevator. Little spoiler, this does not take you to the planet's core where you release the spellstone. This takes you to the lower levels. So, let's delve deeper down into the ocean. So,
Where are we going?
well, I'll tell you where you're not going. Not going here because there's nothing for us to do. That is, except look at a brain squid that can't get us because it's too high. They only attack you at that certain level, so you're safe on that. In that regard, I mean. Where you are going is this way. And I like how there are brain squids here and not in the volcano. Gives it a little bit of a... I don't know what to say. I mean, if you take your rocket boost here, you're gonna get a few fuel cells. Like, I mean, if Rob dropped these, how the heck did they end up here? I mean, it's in an underwater temple. That doesn't make much sense to me. But what I should do is take out this brain squid. The aesthetics here are just gorgeous. Ah. You can't go through there yet. You only go through that area on your second trip. Now, if we go through here, we have some work to do. And you know how I think I said at the end of the last episode that the Ocean Force Point Temple is more puzzle-based, whereas the volcano is more straightforward. I say that because the layout of this map pretty much screams Gauntlet. Like, more of a roundabout than just finding your way up. This tests your... I don't know what I'm gonna say. It's just a lot more technical than you would be in the volcano. So now I'm gonna take this block. Now what I want to do... Oh, not before I do anything. Turn this switch, and it opens this door. But I cannot get up there until I raise the water levels again. We lower that so we can get the block. That would eventually... or we lower the water levels so we could turn that switch on. And open the door. Now, we gotta raise the water levels again so we can get through there. If that sounds clearer. Now, this turns the water levels back. And now we can get to the other room. What I kind of mean in the volcano is you fight your way through Shark Claw and solve simple stuff with Tricky. This is more, like I said, these are more games. These are like mini games. What I mean by that is, what I want to do first is just collect these staff energy gems. And why I want to do that is because if you look on these Krazoa, or underneath these statues, they have Fire Blaster switches beneath them. But over here, you have a vent. And let Tricky breathe fire into there. What that does... It sets those braziers on fire. What you have to do is you have to hit the fire blaster switches at just the right time so the Krazoa can douse these flames. That's one. There we go. Oh no, that's not. And you have to do it before the timer goes out. No, Tricky, I can't play with you. Gotta douse these flames. Come on. You're smarter than that. Come on, douse. Thank God. Hate the sensitivity here. I can't stand the sensitivity of this staff. All right, I think that should do it. Yep. And it takes us back into the room that we were in the first place, or the first room we got into out of the main, well, foyer, I should say. So what you have to do is you have to knock this block with the fire blaster switches on it and get it through that area with those flames on it. Not my best explanation, but you know the drill. Now, you have to hit those walls, or else... it'll disappear and you'll have to start over again. Luckily, I think I know how this goes, if memory serves me correctly. Now, what will it do once you're done? Well, you'll find out. And? It activates a rocket boost pad that you couldn't otherwise use earlier. That does is it takes you to the upper levels of the upper level of the lower level of the temple. Ugh. Now, if you go all the way around, Tricky, I don't think you're going to be able to get up here. But if you enter this room where you had to lower the water levels, you would have to shoot that orb through this flame in order to get a bridge to get you across and warp to the planet's core, where you would release the second spellstone. But I'm going around just to see what happens when you do. Well, nothing. At least not the first time around. So now, all that remains is to shoot a flame through, I believe it's a green one, I think. Like I said, controller sensitivity sucks. Yep. It's a green orb, shoot through a green flame, and now you can get across and warp to the planet's core. For your first time through the Ocean Force Point Temple, I can see why it can be a bit of a drag, but if once you know your way through it, it becomes pretty easy. But I will say, it'll not be that way your second time around. That being said, let's use the Spellstone. And before I do, I just want to show you something. You see those energy beams? Those are the beams that are keeping the planet's pieces. That's what's causing the planet to fall apart. There are 2 blue beams and 1 red beam. The 1 red beam results from us returning the first Spellstone, the one we got from Dark Ice Mines. Now, if we put the second Spellstone back, it'll be 1 blue energy beam and 1 red. Anyway, let's do it. And just like that, we are halfway done with recovering the Spellstones. Not now, Tricky. Oop. Hey, Fox. Or, hey, Fox! Check out Peppy's Dinosaur Planet map to see where to head next!
Come back when you need me! Hi, Fox. World map downloading.
Well, back to Thorntail Hollow, I guess.
Keep going, Fox.
Alright. Sounds simple enough. As I was saying before, the Ocean Force Point Temple is pretty tough on first-timers if they don't know what to do or where to go. And I know sometimes they'll have a hard time with that Krazoa water challenge or that, or trying to put the, or do that, maze, or that Fire Blaster maze, challenge, but once you know your way through, it becomes pretty easy to get, at least on your first time. Second time through, it gets a lot more specific. It is not nearly as straightforward as your first trip. Ah, died. Well, thank God you're out of the way. Just a nice trip back to Thorntail Hall, go through Lightfoot Village, and we're suddenly back. Nothing else to it. Just a uneventful, boring trip back to Thorntail Hollow. Also, I've been stammering and stuttering a lot in this episode, and the reason why is because I haven't recorded in a while, so sorry I had to put up with that in this one. Oh, jeez. Well, guess that covers that then. Nothing else needs to be said. Just a nice trip back to Thorntail Hollow.
Oh, I don't like this, Fox.
Fox, look out! It's a trap! Get him!